Hey lady, where are you going? Can I come with you? In today's video, we are going to show you how to avoid rape. Hello warriors, in today's video we are going to show you basic rules to avoid being raped. Why are we even recording this type of video? Well, it's basically because of the statistic. In Czech Republic, every fifth girl has been raped, but it's not only in Czech Republic, this is a worldwide problem and we think that it needs solution and it's going to be this video. Almost every single self-defense course for women, some lady or woman comes and says her own experience about this whole rape situation. Some women get on better than others, some cannot really handle it and they carry the damage from that situation throughout their whole life. So it affects not only their personal life, but work and even career. There are many stories, but one that stuck with us the most was when our lead instructor Peter was training special forces in Kenya, and the woman that was housing them basically had a daughter, and they received a call from her friend that her daughter is missing. So they went to search for her, they went for a search party, and later they basically found out that she was being kidnapped from a party and was raped multiple times. This one is from our saleswoman in Sweden. She basically told her story about on her first ever party being kidnapped and drugged, and then she woke up in a brothel for truck drivers. She had a very complicated escape, just like in the movie of 96 Hours. And right now we are going to speak up about basic rules to avoid rape. Before we go on the rules, we need to clarify that when you look at the statistics and overall rape attacks, about 70 to 80%, so most of them, are not by some strangers, but they are by someone who you know. So for a typical young woman, this can mean someone from the bar. It's usually the person who is very well dressed, he's nice to her, he's buying her drinks, he's very good behaved, and then in the end he says, I can walk you home, so nothing happens to you. And on the way home from the charismatic person, he turns into the rapist himself. It doesn't always have to be this case as well, there are many others. It can be a classmate, it can be someone from the family like a stepdad or a stepbrother. And when you are looking at work, it's usually a colleague or a boss. What we want to say is that it's not going to be like in the films. It's not going to be some homeless person, because the girls are going to avoid them instinctually. But they are going to let their guard down to the people they know, because they feel safe with them, they feel that they are not alone with them, but they are many times the problem. So let's look at the most cases for the young woman. What is going to be is going to be parties. What is the problem in parties? The alcohol and the drugs. Either she is taking it herself or someone hands it to her. The problem there is if the girl or the woman gets drunk, she loses her limits, she is not able to defend herself as well as she could, and if you look at the whole situation, it's going to be very easy to rape someone who's just laying there unconscious. So what is the defense to that? Well, basically a responsible parent could exercisingly get drunk with his daughter, so then she learns her limits. So she starts thinking about what is the limit of me being too much playful, or when is the limit where it's too much for me and I can barely walk. It's the same as knowing your own limit when it comes to riding a bicycle. So this is a limit for me where I can still drive and not kill myself on the first obstacle, and this is the limit where I definitely shouldn't be even sitting on the bicycle in the first place. Defense number two for this situation, and it's even better, is to have someone like a buddy. The buddy is going to be the person who's not drinking, and he's going to be the responsible one. So in better cultures, there's usually like one person who's not going to be drinking, and he's going to ensure the safety driving for all the other people. The problem here comes when it's one buddy for three drunk girls. One sober girl is not going to be able to control three drunken girls. She goes to the toilet, the other one goes to the bar, and the third one is dancing on the table. She will not be able to control all three of her friends. The buddy is there for the whole time to be kind of the bodyguard. He's meant or she's meant to be looking out for her when it comes to drinking, where is she going, what is she doing, because many times the girl gets drunker and drunker and she stops respecting her limits and she's more able to go with the boy somewhere in private. So let's go somewhere where there's not many people, we can kiss each other, and then it's going to be very hard in privacy while being drunk to back away from the rape. That's why the buddy is there, so the girl will never be alone with the boy. Here is going to be the rule all the time. It's better to kiss in public spaces than to go somewhere like outside the club where there's no people to see you. Even bigger problem than the alcohol himself is the drugs. The drugs, it's mostly when someone spoils your drink and throws it in there. In this instance, even your body can get drugged because you both go into the toilet, you are not looking, and they put the drugs in both of your waters. So now you and your body are being drugged. The defense to this is kind of easy. You just have to carry the bottle with you everywhere you go, or drink it to the emptiness before you leave, and always watch out for the bottles when it comes to someone handing it to you. So don't just take it from a random boy, stranger, because from the time he went from the table to the bar, he could have put something in there. So always and only take the drinks from the barman. If you are leaving the party with a boy and you are going somewhere, always leave a voice message for someone where you are saying where are you going, with who you are going, and where you are. It's not going to prevent the rape, but it's going to be a very good prevention against kidnapping. Here, the important tip is going to be always sharing your location. So if a responsible dad sees the location of her daughter, that she's always at the party, okay, she's at the party, that's relatively safe. But there's going to be a problem when he sees that your location is changing and you are going away from the party. In that way, he can call for help or go help by himself, because he sees that you are no longer in the position where you should be. That's a tip from our Mexican friends when they are the experts to prevention against kidnapping. When you are leaving with a car by some public transport, you want to do two things. You again want to share your location so others can see, and second of all, you are looking at your location as well, so you can see if the driver is going where he should be or he's going somewhere where he shouldn't be going. Let's say you are in the taxi. Don't forget to either call or leave a voice message of saying where you are going and what is, for example, the driver's name. If it's the boy, there's no problem with again sharing the same information. Where are we going? What is the name of the boy? So there is another witness that is not there but knows everything about the whole situation. It's even not a problem to take the photo with the boy and say, okay, this is my new friend, we just met at the party and now they even have a picture. This is definitely going to calm them a lot when it comes to doing any illegal activities, because someone has their picture and location. If it comes to a decision between taking a taxi or a Bolt, the Bolt is going to be better. It doesn't matter if it's Bolt, Uber or a Lyft, because they are going to be able to track the driver a lot easier as opposed to someone who's just taxi. If you are not traveling by a car but by a bus, it's going to be a better decision to sit as close to the driver as you can, because if you are there alone and you need to ask for help, it's going to be much easier when you are close to him as opposed to being on the other side from the driver. If you are somewhere outside, the mistake that many people, and especially girls, do is they take their headphones and they are only looking at their mobile phone, either texting or doing something on that, and the whole attention is only on the phone, which is a big mistake because there are a lot of strangers, people that the girl will completely ignore as threats because she cannot see them. It's the same as if you would be driving and texting and trying not to crash, or by just walking next to the road and looking at some videos and completely ignoring the cars. Like, that's pretty easy suicide. Another tip here is to avoid abandoned places. It's the same as we are talking about in a club. I go to the toilets and there's not many people. The same goes if you are going for some shortcut. So I'm going for the park because I want to get home sooner, or through some construction site. The percentage of attackers are going to be much more in the places where there's drugs and alcohol, and the same goes for the places where it's abandoned, where there are no witnesses. It's a bigger chance of someone attacking or raping you. A thing to realize here, you as a woman, there's absolutely no chance of you defeating physically much bigger, stronger men. So if you think about evening the chances, you have to carry with yourself a weapon. Either if it's telescopic button, kubotan, or a pepper spray, those things works. So if you think about increasing your chance of surviving the situation with no weapon, there's probably not a big chance, maybe not at all any chance. With a weapon, now you have a real shot of going through the whole situation and surviving it, or avoiding the rape. A big thing here is going to be your training with the weapon. If you don't have the training with the weapon, it's going to be much easier to take the weapon away from you and you will not be able to use it. You need to know how to use the weapon. You either increase the chances even more. What we are offering to you is either online courses with the weapons or offline courses, so definitely check them out. So this is the overall conclusion. Never forget to take a buddy with you on the parties, always have him. Second one is always share your location at any time. And the third one is always carry a weapon on yourself. It's the same as carrying a mobile phone or a first aid kit with yourself. The weapon is the same. You should never leave the house without it and you should always have it on you. We reached the end of the video, so now please, from a position of a girl, share this video with as many of your friends as you can so they can avoid rape. From a position of a boy, definitely share this with your friends who want to be responsible dads, boyfriend, husband, friend, so they can talk about these rules with their loved ones.